Hey guys, I am filming an intro for a new project pan called The Deck of Panning. It was created by Emily from Emilynmax here on YouTube, and I believe she was inspired by a booktuber called Bookswithmaddi. I will leave Emily's channel linked down below so that you can check out her intro because she obviously explains it a lot better, and she also answers a lot of questions in her comments, so you can sort of clarify what each prompt means and things like that. But what you need for this project is either a deck of cards, or you can use an online deck of cards if you don't have one, a physical one for yourself, which is what I did. So you include all of the cards in the deck of cards, except you only use one joker because you really don't want more than one. So I drew 5 cards, which usually you'll work on 5 products at once, unless you draw a prompt that says +1. If you get that prompt, then you will need to draw 2 cards and do 2 different prompts. So in that case, you might have to work on 6 products at once, but that's for later updates, I believe. So the first card that I drew was Jack of Hearts, which the prompt is whole collection roulette. Now, I don't actually have an inventory for my whole collection, so I took Emily's advice and I listed out all of the different drawers and different boxes or bags that I store my makeup in, and then I randomized from that. So I got my first Alex set and the 5th drawer, and then I listed out all of the contents from the 5th drawer and randomized from those. And the product that I got is this NYX concealer right here. Now, this is obviously not my shade. This used to be a part of my professional kit. This was one of the earliest drugstore concealer brands that made shades this dark. So I'm not sure how I'm going to use it. Probably as like a cream bronzer. The undertone on this isn't too bad. It's pretty neutral, so hopefully it will work. My goal for this is just to use it 20 times, since this was never meant to be a product for personal use anyways, so I'm just going to try to use it 20 times and then I will roll it out. Now the second prompt, the second card that I got was Ace of Spades, which the prompt for that is Project Graveyard, which is another project by Emily. And there are 2 parts to that project. One is Resurrection, which you pick a product that you had in a previous project, and the second is Collecting Cobwebs, which is any older products that you rarely reach for. And for that, I chose this MAC Studio Face and Body, another product that's from my kit, so it's not my shade. If I squeeze some onto my hands, you can see that it's not the right undertone for me. This is definitely a peachier undertone, whereas I have a more olive undertone. It's also a shade lighter than my face. It looks like it will match on my hand, but my hands are a lot lighter than my face. But that's a lot of product. But it's a very sheer product, and I can always set it with like a yellow toned powder to make it match me better, I guess. It's not too bad. the reason that I picked this one is because I think maybe I'll be able to layer these two. Like I can apply this first and then I can layer this on, layer this on top of this, and maybe that'll make it easier to use. So my goals for the foundation is also to use it 30 times. If I feel like I can, like it works for me, I can make it work easily, then I might continue using this, because this is also getting older in my collection. But if I can't make it work, again, it's fine. It was never meant for personal use, so I won't bother with it if I cannot learn how to enjoy it after trying it 30 times. So the third card I drew was 2 of clubs, which is something that's glittery. I went back and forth quite a bit on this one, but I ended up picking my Stila Glitter and Glow Mini in Kitten, because these don't last very long. Like they dry out pretty quickly. I had that happen to me. This is like a repurchase. It's a mini, but still, like I don't want it to go bad before I use it up. So this is what that looks like if you have not seen the shade before. It's really pretty, and I like the fact that I can layer it on top of other eyeshadows as well to make them more fun. This is definitely my favorite formula for glitter, but I prefer the duochrome glitters that are in, like the shades of the duochrome glitters that are in other palettes as well as indie singles. So my goal for this one is also to use it 20 times, because this will take a while to use up, I think, and I am planning on using some of my other glitters as well. So yeah, you can only wear so many glitters at once. So the fourth card that I picked was the 9 of Diamonds, which is highlight. So it can be like a face highlight, something you use to highlight your brow bone, I don't know. I chose a face highlight. Now this is in NYC bronzer compact. I didn't like the bronzer, so I scraped it out, and in it I pressed the Hard Candy bronzer, that's the shade of a highlight in Tiki. That one cracked on me, so I tried pressing it on its own first, but it wouldn't stay in because that is a very thin, sort of powdery baked formula. So I mixed it with Becca Opal and another, I think, limited edition gold highlight, and those were cracked anyway, so I was like, instead of cracking a good highlighter, let me just make something out of 2 cracked highlighters. And it's a more golden champagne shade now. It looks pretty champagne, and it's very sheer, so that's nice. I didn't like the Becca shade because it was too dark and too intense, and the Hard Candy one was just too sheer and too light. So the mixture is actually a better shade on my face. So my goal with this one, now I don't know if you can tell, but it's still crumbly around the edges, so I'm afraid that it might start cracking, in which case I cannot hit pan on it, obviously. So my goal for this one is to use it either 30 times if it cracks, or if it stays as it is, I want to try to hit pan on it. So we'll see which one happens. A highlighter is not something that I use every single day or every single time I do wear makeup, because it's just a step that I often skip or forget. But we'll see how far I can get on that one. So the last prompt, and I jinxed myself. I believe a lot of people jinxed themselves. I got Joker, which the prompt for that is, are you joking? So the idea is you pick a product that you really, really don't want to pan, and you cannot cheat, obviously. So for me, the hardest products to pan are liquid lipsticks, because I don't like the formula, vampy lip shades, especially burgundy toned ones, eyeliners, because again, that's a step that I skip often, as well as like giant highlighters, because again, they're hard to pan. The one I ended up going with is this ColourPop lipstick, and it's a travel size lipstick and lip liner duo, like two-sided product. So the lip liner that's almost full is a purpley wine shade, and then the lipstick side, which is also barely used, I think I used this side once, it's slightly more reddish. But yeah, I wear black lipstick and blue lipstick more often than these shades. Like, I don't know why, but yes. I chose this one because this is the oldest. Also, this is matte, so I don't know. This is how much product is in the lipstick side, and the lip liner side doesn't have too much either. Like, that's not a lot of product. It's just, this is not a shade that I want to ever wear, really. But I own them, and these are not part of my professional kit. Like, these I got for personal use, but I almost never reach for them. So, like, I just wanted to try out the ColourPop formula, so I got like a 5-pack of travel size ones, and I rarely ever reached for them. So I want to change that. I want to try to use it up, see if it works or not. There are a lot of lipstick formulas in my collection that I cannot put in my kit. Like, they would be too hard to use in a sanitary way in a kit. But I still have them, and I have shades of them that I wouldn't wear on my own lips ever. So I need to make some tough decisions and either declutter those or use them, basically. So yeah, with this, my goal is to finish both sides. I don't know how many uses that would take. Fingers crossed that I can do this. So again, this one I want to finish. This one, the highlight, I want to either hit pan on it, or if it cracks, I want to use it 30 times. This, the glitter, I want to use 20 times. The foundation, I want to use 30 times, or if I can make it work for me and I want to make it my everyday foundation, then I'll keep using it. And the dark concealer that I want to attempt to use a bronzer, I want to use 20 times to see how I feel about it. That's all for the products that I picked.